Hey, it's Grable Pub here. I don't know if you can see me yet, but my hair's a little wet because I just got out of the shower. So today we're going to be doing an updated video of HPA versus CO2. I actually have a CO2 tank here with me today. You guys don't know what this thing is. It actually screws into the Ember Mini or any gun like that, and it's supposed to make it an on-off ASA. The reason I have this on here is because this is actually broken. There's no pin in there, so there's no pin to actually puncture this pin in the CO2 tank, so the air will release out. So I actually have a CO2 tank today. Sadly, I'm getting rid of my zone in chaos, so I can't shoot this tank. I can't use this tank at all. The zone in chaos was a piece of, it just didn't work for me, right? But I didn't pay anything for the CO2 tank. I don't know if you guys saw the video, PSI Frozen Tundra. I went to go play and I did a video of the field and what was going on in game interviews with some of the refs and some of the players. At the field, this guy just dumped the CO2 tank. So I said I don't want this thing anymore. Let anybody take it. I don't know what the hydro date is on this, so I'm not even going to use this tank. I'm just going to use it for purposes of the video. And then I have my, as you guys know, Ninja 68 4500. So now I actually have a CO2 tank here with me. I'm going to show you what happens. First, we're going to talk about CO2, what happens with this tank. And you actually screw it in. So there's no possible way of the air coming into the intact with the gun because of the fact that the pin is not punctured. See if this thing's going to work properly instead of being a pain in the ass. And the air tank, the air, yeah, the air is actually turned off, so, oh my god. You can see why I hate these CO2 tanks and whatnot, because they're a pain in the ass to screw in. Wait, just wait a second, guys, just bear with me. Okay, the CO2 tank does not want to cooperate with me, so we're just gonna do this. Alright, sorry about that. So basically what happens is you got pressurized gas in the tank. If you actually tilt it down, this right here piece of the tank, top of the tank will actually start to chill because of the liquid CO2. So basically what happens is you fill this up, you got about here of the tank is filled with liquid CO2. And the problem with that is if you screw your tank in like this, okay, and you puncture the pin, liquid CO2 is going to get into your gun. And I have my Mini here with me today to show you what happens. So you tilt it down, so you got this gas, this nasty liquid CO2 in there, going up into the gun. So then it gets into your solenoid and freezes the thing up. And well, I mean, the solenoid is one of the most expensive parts of the gun. So you start shooting, and you hear that. I guess actually never used CO2 and heard that. I don't use CO2 on any of my guns. Well, guns or guns. Now, or soon to be. So you have, you hear this, you look at your solenoid's freezing up. It's cracking in there because you got this liquid CO2 that's destroying it. Sometimes the liquid CO2 can bypass in here, this part, your regulator, and then you have your ASA here. And that's not good. You don't want that at all. And then it'll go up into your solenoid and freeze it. And then sometimes you'll get liquid CO2 into your bolt, and it will start firing liquid CO2 with a paintball. If you give a Tippmann, then you'll get a velocity spike, really bad velocity spike, like 383, possibly. Actually, another thing was Zone Chaos, I corroded it at the end of the day and it was shooting 383. If you guys don't believe me, that's okay. I know this is the internet, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm dead serious. It said 383. I don't know if the Corona was broken at the field, but it definitely, I read it, 383. Okay? You can write, oh, you're full of shit, you're full of shit. Okay, that's fine. I'm just saying, it says 383. And I was using this tank on my Zoning Chaos, which is really weird, which this one's actually empty. This one has air in it. So then you start shooting, and then what happens is the tank chills. So, the more the tank chills, the lower the pressure. The hotter the tank gets, the higher the pressure. So that's why you never leave a full CO2 tank out in the sun, because the pressure will get so high, this little bursts will blow. So then it will freeze up after it blows, bursts. Another thing is, the one thing when you see people filling your CO2 tanks for newer players, you want to watch and make sure they chill the tank first. What I mean is that they screw it on, alright? You want to make sure that they go up, down, up, down, about 3 or 4 times. So then they're actually chilling the tank so they can get a really good fill. Now, sometimes you'll have a 20-ounce tank and they won't chill the tank, so then you only get maybe 14 ounces of CO2 in a 20-ounce tank. I mean, some people say, yeah, you only want 14 ounces in there, but I mean, you really want at least 18 ounces of CO2 in your tank. That will last you a while, like a Tin-Man or something. But if they don't chill the tank first, then I know I said that you want the tank chills when it's like when you shoot, but I don't know how that works actually. But the reason why you get more shots with CO2 is because the liquid CO2 turns into a gas when it's running low. I think, if I'm wrong, then you can correct me in the comments. But the CO2, they're $20, some of them $30, the bigger tanks. It's cheap, it's dirty though, it's extremely dirty gas, but understand if you're a new player, yeah, I buy a tank at Sports Center, hey, look at that, I got a CO2 tank with my Sports $30. Tip me 98, I got $100, my friend got a $100 package, power pack, and he got a 20-ounce CO2. So hey, look at this, I got a CO2 tank now, screw it in. And you have the gun going that, depending on the weather, it's cold out, that time it's cold out, so you go, screw it in, you get like 3 or 4 shots, no, I'm just kidding, probably around 30 to 40 to 50, 60 maybe shots, and you know, pretty probably because of, you know, it sounds like it's farting when you pull the trigger, it goes, that's because of the what is it called, the striker, or the hammer, doesn't have time to be catched on this here, so it goes, it sounds like it's farting when it sounds like it's full auto, and it really sounds like it's farting sometimes. So, you know, you get this gas, you screw it in, and then you say, you tilt it down like that, and you know, if you ever like, see, like, me and my friends screw around a lot with like the regulators, and we have a couple of brakes, and we get gas forgets and shit at his house, and so we just screw around with macroline and steel braided hose and making all these crazy setups with CO2 tanks and HPA tanks. So then, so what happens is we took one of those old gas steel forgets setups with an ASA on there, and we screwed it in, and we screwed it into a point where we had the air coming out, and we stuck it at his sister's face, and she was like, "Aah!" It was hilarious. But the point is that when you screw your tank in, and like we screwed it in, it got freezing though. I mean, it felt like there was frost on his ASA after that. That's one of the problems with CO2 is that it gets really cold and it really sucks then. Sometimes if your tank gets extremely cold and you're out of air, and sometimes you start slipping, your fingers start slipping from all the ice in the tank. I could possibly, that might happen to somebody, but it would, unlikely, but it would suck if that was the case. And now with HPA, the differences between the tanks, this is actually lighter right now because this isn't filled. 0 on the gauge, so you can see that though. But this is a 2-piece regulator. This is the bonnet, and this is the regulator down here. This holds 4,500 psi. This holds like 800. You get like around 1,000 to 1,200 shots on this tank from like a Geo or stuff like that, and then you get about maybe 1,000 shots on a like a spider maybe. I don't know, I'm not sure though. But no, the thing is, you can actually fill through the. You don't have to screw your tank off to fill. You get 2 burst discs instead of 1. It says 1 burst disc, 2 burst discs. And you actually have a gauge on there. You can't put gauges on those tanks though, but it can be a little bit annoying when you're doing it. Because you have to have 2 burst discs then. So you have 1 burst disc and you have 1 with the gauge. You actually put 2 gauges on here if you wanted to. So you take 1 burst disc out, I guess, but it'd probably be a bad idea to do that. Personally, I wouldn't do it. You get, this little screw on any of the tanks. You can actually screw this on you can screw this on the regulators. You can screw it on pretty much everything. That will fit on there. They're all like regulators, ASAs, they're all the same threads. Well, except the spiders. Those are fuck threads, I call them. Anything spider related is fuck threading. Hate spider. You're gonna have a tank grip. The thing I like about the HP tanks, and even the 42,000, especially these have a curved, they have a rounded back, and I like that a lot. It feels a lot better. It comes in better than a flat right here. That actually is extremely uncomfortable for me, especially without a sweatshirt on. Some of the 48 2000s and the 47 3000s and whatever, the 72 or whatever they are, they have kind of a curved bottom, and that is comfortable too. What you can do is you can, if you have a big tank, like a 70 cubic inch tank cover, you get some foam, that really hard foam, and you cut it in half, and then you put it in the back, and it feels like a curved back if you do it correctly. That you can actually make it feel like a curved back in your tank. Maybe sometimes you take a CO2 tank, you put some cloth underneath it with a big tank cover, the 70 cubic inch tank cover, and you stick that on there. That will make it feel a lot better too. Just ideas. But this is a lot better. Sticking this on there is a lot better idea than sticking sticking this on there. Make sure I stick my finger in there because I thought it was in the wrapping mode. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. This is the wrapping. It should actually go faster. There you go. Anyway, rate, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys for watching. Turn this off. Okay, come on. You can do it. There you go. Good gun. I'll upgrade you some time soon. Alright, so